Okay, let's get started. I'm hoping there'll be a few more people dropping in as we go. But this is so wonderful to see so many smiling faces and even names. Love that too. Certainly we miss connecting with everybody in person, but this is, I guess, as second best as it's going to get for a while. So good afternoon, everyone. As you will have heard, we'll be recording this session and we'll share the link when we're finished. Welcome to Wednesdays at 1. This is a new professional development series for all our ESC members and their staff. These are going to be short, friendly conversations to share information, tools, ideas, and practical ways to use what we learn in our professional roles. So Wednesdays in 1 are a partnership between ESC and our Workforce Planning and Development Board, and are also supported by the City of London and their Community Recovery Network. And today I'm joined by Jessica Gowers, Communications Manager at the Workforce Board, and Kathleen McLeod from First Work. And so as many of you know, Employment Sector Council is partnering with First Work to distribute LinkedIn Learning licenses to our service provider organizations. This effort is funded by MLTSD and is an opportunity for all of us together to try LinkedIn Learning and its various platforms in an effort to increase our digital expertise and capacity. So today we're looking at LinkedIn Learning in particular. Many of you have already activated your free licenses through your organizations, and some of you are still waiting. If you're not sure what your status is, please let me know. Contact me. I'll put my email in the chat, and then we can chat about where your organization is at. So today, please consider how you can use LinkedIn Learning for your own professional and personal uses, and then how we might support our staff and our employers when we provide them with their own LinkedIn Learning licenses as well. And that's sort of a next step. And please definitely come back for future Wednesdays at 1. This month, we're running through LinkedIn Recruiter platform, which is a great tool for job developers in particular, and also LinkedIn Talent Insights. So now I'm going to pass it over to Kathleen McLeod. She's the Community Outreach Coordinator for Southwestern Ontario, and she's the person that's been carrying us along on this really interesting LinkedIn journey.
Thank you, Carol. It's been a pleasure to work with you so far, and I'm very excited to be here and to be able to meet with all of you. Just to give you a little bit more context, I know that Carol has explained this project to you in detail in other settings as well, but these licenses are free until the end of March 2022. We are hoping for a renewal of the project, but we'll not know until closer to the timeline. And so, as you all know, with these types of projects, we will be letting you know as soon as we know whether we're able to continue to provide you with these amazing licenses and opportunities. So I'm going to share my screen so that we can walk you through the tools. So when you are activating your license, you will have the ability to link your license to your LinkedIn profile. When you do that, you will be able to see your LinkedIn Learning when you click this work section here. And then you'll see LinkedIn Learning is here, Talent Insights will be here, and Recruiter will be here, but we're going to focus on LinkedIn Learning today. There is also another way of activating your license where you don't have to have a LinkedIn profile and you can create a LinkedIn Learning account. You would sign in through the LinkedIn Learning website that can be sent out. So I'll send that to Carol so that she can forward that on to all of you as well. So you'll click LinkedIn Learning and it will pop up on the screen. If you have any questions throughout this time, please put them in the chat. We'll go over them at the end when we have our Q&A time. So just for the sake of not forgetting what you wanted to ask, you can just put them in there and they will be addressed. So this is the home page for LinkedIn Learning. You'll see across the top, this is the home bar. It has browse, which is a great way to see a lot of the different topics throughout LinkedIn Learning that can help you get started with some of your searches. Because there are over 17,000 courses on the platform, it can be quite overwhelming to just do a search. But you can also search for a specific topic or subject in this search bar as well. You can see with this globe here, you can change to different languages. So we've got English, French, German, Japanese, Spanish, simplified Chinese, and Portuguese. When you change this, the whole interface of the tool will change to be French, as well as all of the French offerings will be shown as well. When you first activate your account, you will be asked to choose some topics that you would like to have on your homepage. And so when you scroll down, these are the types of topics that I have chosen. But with the premium, we also have these office hours with experts as well. So if someone wants that opportunity to be able to talk to the person who's created that course or that content, they can sign up for these specific events as well with the premium accounts. Everyone will have access to these courses, so your staff will be able to use them. Your job seekers can use them through our client links, which will be shared to you once you have signed up your staff. And you will also be able to offer these courses, this license to businesses that you're working with as well. So if they are struggling with maybe social media or website design, you can send your link to them and they can sign up, and you can recommend them content as a value add for your organization. So I want to do a search here and show you what that looks like. So we've got both hard and soft skills on this platform. Interpersonal communication is one of my favorite searches because it's got some great content when you search through how to be assertive and likable, communicating with emotional intelligence, communicating across cultures, persuading others, working with difficult people, a lot of really great pieces that everyone needs to know in order to be successful at work or in general. Then we've also got very practical things as well. So if you search up Excel, you can see that there are both beginner as well as advanced type courses. So when you look along the top here, there are some filters that are very, very helpful. You can filter by level. So we've got beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So you can filter by beginner, and then you will see all of the ones that would be helpful for someone who's just learning how to use Excel, intro to formatting, that sort of thing. You can also filter by content type. So let's get rid of this filter, and then you can see that the types of courses available are courses, videos, audio, and learning paths. Learning paths are very specific groupings of courses that will help you with an overall understanding of a topic. So you can see that we've got some that just say building your Excel skills. So let's click into that one. And you will see that there are 3 courses that have been grouped together that are great learnings all together. They have to be done in the order that they've been put in. And at the end, you get a certificate for building your Excel skills. You as an organization have the ability to create these learning paths as well. So LinkedIn has created a lot of learning paths that start with Become A. So when you just put Become A, learning paths that that LinkedIn have created around specific job titles or specific skills or specific attributes that will be helpful will show up. So you can see become a social media marketer, become an administrative professional, become a public relations specialist, and you can click in. And on your side in the admin training, which I can show you, if you're interested in learning more and want to be a part of those admin trainings, we can get into the nitty gritty of how to create or modify learning paths through that training. But you do have the ability to do that as an organizational administrator. You can add courses to one of these learning paths or take them away if you feel like some are not useful. So in terms of some of the really interesting functions that might be useful for your teams to know, when you do a general search and you find a course that's useful for one of your learners, you can click these three dots here, and then you can click recommend. You can type in the person that has a LinkedIn, see if I come up. I don't, but you can type in the specific person that you want to send it to. You can click on those learners, and then you can write a message to them as well as a due date. This will then be sent in an email as well as notified to them on the platform. So when they start using the platform, they will know that this has been recommended. And you can also do reports on these to ensure that they are following up and doing the courses that you're recommending to them as well. Another piece that I wanted to show you is this browse category we talked about at the beginning. These are lists of topics that you could potentially do searches for if you were interested. There's a lot of career development things around prepping for interviews, prepping your resume, your cover letter, elevator pitches to sell your skills, as well as creating a career plan and working in this pandemic style work environment that are really, really great. And you can find those in those sections. There's also really great business topics around HR, as well as sales and marketing. There's some really great recruiting content as well. So for your own professional development, there's some really great talent sourcing content, as well as recruiting foundations and a lot of recruiting with social media, some of those technical pieces about maybe a different way that you want to start recruiting for employers as well as job seekers. You can also see along the side here, there's creative. So you can see topics surrounding photography, graphic design, video, UX, web design, and then there's also technology as well. So courses around database management, mobile development, data science, security, software development, especially in the employment sector services. Around security is so needed with that security training for staff to ensure that you know how to keep your files and your email safe from spam and phishing and all of those really dangerous things that can take hold of your databases and take that confidential information that you have. So this can be great for your staff as well. So with this, you can also see the progress that you've had. You can set a weekly goal for yourself. And then if you're interested in learning more about the admin side of things, if you have admin privileges, which I recommend that at least everyone have curator status so that they can recommend content and create those learning paths, you can click into the admin side up at the top. And you get this back end here. So you can see a list of people when you click on this people tab up at the top here. You can see all of the users in your groups. I can see everything because I'm a full admin. So these numbers are not the numbers that you would be able to see, but you would be able to see everyone registered under your group, which is your organization's name, as well as your job seekers or your business group. You can also see some of the content that has been created by other organizations. So we have almost 300 organizations across Ontario that are participating in this project so far. And with that, when they create learning paths or collections, you can see them in the content tab. So you can go through and see some of the things that have been created by other ESPs and kind of use those as learning to see what might be able to be useful for your clients or for your programs. As you can see, some people have created them for very specific programming pieces, like pre-employment programs that they're working through. So that is an option as well. And then this Insights tab here is the reporting pieces. And again, we'll go over that more in detail at the admin training if that's something that you need based on the admin privileges that you'll have. So that is kind of the basics of LinkedIn Learning. There's so much more that we can go over, but I do see that there are some questions. So maybe we'll go to the question and see. So are there courses on customer service? Yes, there are. So let's go over some of those pieces there. These courses are they're not country specific. LinkedIn Learning is used across the world. And so in order for it to be relevant to anyone that's using the platform, there's no country specific information, but there are very important pieces that are needed for customer service in general that will be there. So you won't find AODA or WMIS training on here, but you will see health and safety concepts that are relevant across the board. So you can see build your skills in customer service as a learning path. And you can see that we've got some courses on customer service foundations, problem solving and troubleshooting, building rapport with customers, call control strategies for those call centers, handling abusive customers, creating positive conversations with challenging customers, de-escalating conversations, and serving using social media. So this is just one example of a learning path, but when you search for customer service, all of these content pieces will show up as well. Are all of these courses free? They are free. You have access to all 17,000 courses. They're all free until the end of March 2022. So after that, we're hoping that we will be renewed for an additional contract period of time, but we're unsure whether we will be able to get that renewal or not. It is dependent on whether it's accepted. So it is free as of right now until the end of March 2022. Anybody else have any questions or things that you would like me to show you based on what you've seen today?
Hi, Kathleen. I've got one question from Melanie, and she is asking about how to log onto this platform again. And Melanie, I'm not sure if you've been signed up yet for your license, so that might be one stumbling block. Once I get your organization's list of all the staff who want licenses and what sort of access they want or they need, then I send that list off to Kathleen and her team, and then each of you will get an email that says activate your account, and then you can either log in through the LinkedIn Learning link if you don't already have a LinkedIn account, or you can go through your LinkedIn and then you'll see these added features on your screen. Am I right in this, Kathleen?
So you will, so because this is a project where you are going to have this free license, and this is not given to everyone. It's really provided to employment service providers who are serving job seekers of all varieties. So it could be someone who is a youth, it could be someone who is an immigrant or a refugee. There are no parameters in terms of who can access these services as long as they're 16 years or older. So if you're serving someone in a job seeker capacity, a mentorship capacity, we also are providing these for entrepreneurs. So small businesses that are starting, because there's some amazing business content on this platform that can be very helpful with someone getting their business up and running. So those are kind of the parameters. So because we are offering those to a very select few people, we have to have you register through us. And so Carol is kind of the person that is helping to gather that information for your membership. And then we will ensure that those licenses are given over to you through the form of an activation email or an activation link. And each individual that is signing up will have the ability to either sign up on their LinkedIn page, so they can link it to their LinkedIn page and it will be found here, or they can use a LinkedIn Learning account, sign up for that, and then do it separate from the LinkedIn platform. That is long-winded and basically saying everything Carol said was correct.
There is one more question about once we've gotten our LinkedIn licenses as staff of our organizations, how do we sign up clients? And that's a great question. And that's sort of step 2. So what we're doing is hopefully getting as many of our staff and our employment professionals to get their licenses and to explore them and to see the features. And then Kathleen and I will work to send each of your organizations a personalized or sort of individualized link that you can then share with clients, and they will sign up underneath your organization, or you can share that with employers as well. So you can offer employers a free LinkedIn license, sort of as part of your services to them.
Yes, I'm just going to show you an example of what that client form looks like, so that when you get that, you can kind of know what we are talking about here. So I'm going to use one of our organizations that are already working with us. So it's a link. So you'll get this link here that anyone can put into a web browser, and it will bring up this client form. So it'll have your organization's name, as well as your logo. And we generally just get that off the website, but if you have a logo that you would like us to use, you're more than welcome to send it to us or send it to Carol, and we can use that in the form creation. And then your clients will have these 4 things that they'll have to fill out, and they'll consent to provide this information to us, to LinkedIn, as well as to you, because you'll have access to see all of their information on LinkedIn Learning through reporting pieces as well. And then they can submit that and they will get their activation email from this automatically. Okay. Any other questions?
Is there a reason for the year of birth?
They have to be 16 years old or older to use the platform. So that is the basic year that we at least need to see. If they feel like they don't want to give us that information, as long as they put a year in there that is at least 16 years old or older, that should be fine. They don't have to, it doesn't have to be exact. We just need to know that they're following the guidelines of LinkedIn Learning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How soon will we get the personalized link?
So we have been working tirelessly to get all of the member links created, and Carol will be giving those out shortly. But I know that there's a timeline where there are some people that have signed on to the project, and so we don't want to miss any of you. So we're giving Carol a large link list by the end of this week, and then she can distribute those out to you.
When your organization is signing you up, there is a sort of a spreadsheet. So we get your email, your name, and then there's an indication of which license you will be receiving, and hopefully everybody's getting a LinkedIn Learning license. And then based on your role, recruiter might be of real value to you. The talent insights might be of value to you. And certainly, as Kathleen has mentioned, there's a curator function too, which means that you can assemble all of those courses and bits of information and so forth for yourself or for clients. So have your admin person complete their spreadsheet, send it to me, and then we're working on it. We're working on it right away. And if there are any changes, you can send me the spreadsheet as many times as you like. In fact, Kathleen has said kindly, as obviously as many as you like. We love to get them. So if there are changes, or if you think, hey, I'd like to be added onto this, you can let us know, and we can make those changes for you. So as soon as we get them, they're entered into the list to be processed.
We have, sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
Carol, as we submit our names of people and the functionality that they'll get, will you let the administrator know when those accounts have been activated? Or should we assume that when we send in those requests that all of them will be granted as requested?
So I can take that if you'd like. So we have 100,000 LinkedIn Learning licenses to give away. At this point, we've got a quarter of them spoken for. So we still have 75,000 licenses to distribute. So in terms of LinkedIn Learning, if you send us 5,000 people, you will be able to get 5,000 people LinkedIn Learning licenses. And that's just a random number that I chose. If you have that many people, please send them to us, because the more people that are using the platform, the better we have of being able to get a renewal of this program in the future, and to be able to continue to offer these services to you. In terms of LinkedIn Talent Insights and LinkedIn Recruiter, we only have 2,000 that we have been given by the government of Ontario. And so we have about 100 of each left right now. We are, so the way that the licenses work is that when you send your people to us, we put them in, and they have to, that is when they're called invited, and they have to activate their licenses to be able to use them. But when you put a person in, it saves their spot in that 2,000 list. And so what we're doing is going back from the beginning of the project, and there's people who didn't activate those licenses. So we're following up with them, and those that are not interested in using them, we're taking those licenses away and giving them to people who will. So there is the ability that we will be able to open up more spaces. We have about 1,000 of those that are being used right now. So there is the possibility that more than 100 will be able to be accessed, but there will be a point where it is first come, first serve, and so we will have to say, sorry, we can't get you that license, but we're hoping that that point won't be soon. It will be in a couple of months.
Thank you.
If I could add just one more thing to that, Jeff, with you being, you know, for now at least, Western's admin point person, you have an admin function, so you can see who is signed up and who's activated. It gives you a list in terms of, you know, who's not clicked on their activate list or who's not using their license.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. I can check that at any time. And as far as the timeline, so if I were to submit a list of 30 people, I'm throwing out 30 as a random number, by tomorrow or even early next week, does it take you long to process that?
It's a 2 to 3 business day turnover.
Okay.
It is a manual process right now, so we do have to input everyone into the system. So that's why it's 2 to 3 business days. But we take them, like if you put them in, you know, today, then we'll make sure that you are at the top of the list to receive them as they come in.
I imagine it's going to take a little while to socialize this, so I may be a little too optimistic in my projections. But 2 to 3 days on your end, that's helpful to know.
Wonderful. Any other questions?
Can I ask one more? Sorry. So going back to sort of the value of not only doing this for our own professional development and so forth, but you know, helping clients to sort of navigate LinkedIn Learning. What happens when you get your completion, your certificate of completion, let's say? Does that go up somewhere special so that essentially your LinkedIn profile is demonstrating that you've completed this, you know, these various competencies and so forth?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. So when you complete a course on LinkedIn or a LinkedIn Learning pathway, you can put that onto your LinkedIn page as a certificate. So that will be added under other certificates that you've added to your account. You can also share it on your page to say that you've completed that, so that when others are using LinkedIn Learning or LinkedIn in general for recruitment, and they're able to look, you know, job seekers up in the system, they're able to see those skills and competencies when they do that. It's not something that happens automatically. You do have to choose to be able to put those course certificates on your page, but it is a really good function of being able to link your page with your LinkedIn Learning to be able to showcase the learning that you are doing and completing.
Okay, if that's all the questions, thank you everyone. I'm just going to stop the recording now.